Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. Also, thanks for those of you tuned in on the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur TV show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channels if you haven't done so already, or feel free to unsubscribe if you don't like what the Queen is cooking. Okay, but if you do subscribe, be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. If you have not been receiving your notifications, double check to make sure that you're still subscribed to the channels because sometimes people mysteriously become unsubscribed. With that all being said, please make sure you like and share the video. Be sure to like and share the video. Okay, so let's get right into it. This is a very sad story. So they say 3 children were among the 6 killed by razor sharp kite strings at a festival in India. Now, there were 3 children and 3 adults who were killed when their throats were slit by kite strings during a weekend festival in the Indian state of Gujarat. The casualties occurred at the annual Uttaran Festival, where revelers are known to engage in kite fights, in which competitors aim to sever the kite strings of other opponents. Now, this is what the Press Trust of India reported. They say the dangerous kite strings are often coated with glass powder or even lined with metal, making them razor sharp. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sure this is a tradition for this festival that they have, but this sounds absolutely crazy to me. Okay, it sounds very dangerous. Even thinking of this, I would first feel like someone could get their fingers severed, get their hands sliced, or anything. How is this a good idea? But so apparently it isn't because 6 people are now dead. So they say local officials said that several victims bled to death after having their necks sliced by the strings used by the kite flyers. This is all so sad. A further 176 participants were also injured after suffering cuts and falls while flying the kites, according to police. Now, a 2-year-old girl identified only as Kirti was riding with her father on his bicycle in Bhavnagar city when her neck was cut by a kite string, and sadly, she died at a local hospital, according to police. In another incident, 3-year-old Kismat was walking home with her mother in the town of Visnagar on Saturday when a cord sliced her neck as well. She was rushed to a hospital but was also pronounced dead. In the city of Rakjat, police say that 7-year-old Rishab Verma was riding with his parents on their bicycle when a kite string wrapped around his neck, causing his death. I mean, this is also sad. Can you imagine the parents that saw this as they're just going about their daily lives and to have their children just taken away from them in such a heinous manner, all because of a festival that they were having? Now, similar incidents were reported in the Vadodara, Kutch, and the Gandhinagar districts, leading to the deaths of Swamji Yadav, age 35, Narendra Vaghela, age 20, and Ashwin Gadvi, who all had their necks sliced open while biking. Oh, I cannot imagine this carnage. Now, according to information from local EMS officials, 130 people suffered lacerations and 46 were hurt in falls from rooftops and terraces while flying kites Saturday and Sunday in those regions. Well, this definitely sounds like something they need to stop. I mean, this just doesn't sound like a good idea at all to me. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see some of these kite strings. Likes up, everyone. Please be sure to like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, so there you can see the kite strings that are razor sharp and actually have something called glass powder, okay, put on them to make them even more sharp. These are people buying paper kites at Hanapura Kite Market on the occasion of the Makar Sankranti Festival in Jaipur, Rajasthan, India. So that's just all very sad. Very sad. Condolences for the families. This is definitely not good news. With that all being said, we have even more bad news here in the Divided Snakes. So I have been telling you all to pay close attention to this digital currency that they're talking about, that they're moving us into, because anything digital can likely be hacked, as I've said before. They can just, feel that you've said something that's disagreeable, and they can just shut down your bank account like they did Kanye. Okay, like they did Wendy Williams, and you won't even have access to your own funds, like they did to the people over in China. I want y'all to pay attention, because you see, today, a friend of mine called me and said that he checked his bank account and it was significantly overdrawn. Okay, thousands upon thousands of dollars. And when he kept calling, trying to find out what was going on, well, they simply kept hanging up or telling him, to try to speak with the corporate office. And so finally, after hours of going through this, the bank account was back in its proper standing. So I thought that was very strange. But then it got even stranger when I found out that people from Bank of America were missing their funds as well. Now, I want y'all to pay attention. They haven't even moved us into the digital currency as of yet, but already people are having trouble finding their own funds that are supposed to be in their bank account, and the banks are not giving them any answers. Let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see this video.
Bank of America, and everybody's missing money. I'm also missing money, over $1,300, and they're telling me to call customer service. And they keep hanging up on people. This another person here is also missing money. So we're trying to see what's going on. Money's missing today, and we need our money. And they're already telling us to call customer service, and customer service ain't doing nothing about it. So just a heads up, if anybody's experiencing this, please let us know, because this is not right. I'm missing $1,400 from my account, and they're telling me that there's no way they can help us. This guy's missing money too. This other person missing money too. And you missing money too? There you go. So this is not something that's just one person. This is everybody's happening to them. And this is crazy. This is very crazy. Yes, Bank of America decided to take people's money without their consent. And we're asking what's going on, and they're giving us a runaround. Everybody for the same thing, man. Same thing.
Okay, so you all heard that. That is clearly crazy. What is really going on? And they don't have any legit answers for these people. Just giving them the runaround, just trying to brush them off. I don't know about you, but it's a few things that I don't play about. My life, my children, and my money. So we all need to be taking note of this and paying attention, because this is only going to get worse with this digital currency as far as I'm concerned. What will we do when they're able to just shut down our bank accounts? Maybe you said something on social media that they didn't like, that they thought was disagreeable, that they thought, in fact, went against their narrative and agenda of whatever they're trying to push. And they just decide, let us just shut down your bank account. Let us put a lien on your account. They can come up with any excuse. They could, in fact, take all of your money and say that it was hacked. I mean, who knows what nefarious things will be going on? Right now, I'm just curious as to find out how they're going to explain all of this, or if they're going to bother to explain it at all. And I also want to know how long it's going to take before these people get their cash back in their accounts. This is absolutely crazy. Imagine if you have to pay your rent. Imagine if you have to pay your mortgage. What if your lights are about to get turned off? What if you have no gas in your car to get to work? What if one of your children needs some type of medication and you don't have the money to pay for it? These are the things that we should be concerning ourselves with. This is all so crazy. It is absolutely crazy. But you know what? This is what's going on, and these devils are in control, and they're trying to make sure that they do everything to keep themselves in control, while we sit here and have to just hope that they'll do the right thing. But as we know, devils never do the right thing, do they? That's what they don't do. Okay? But so anyway, let's talk about this Louisiana high school secretary who was forced out after sending a colleague a racist text. Okay, and this was clearly Karen. All right, it always is when these things happen. So they say a European Louisiana high school secretary forced out after she sent a colleague a racist text referring to MLK Jr. Day as the Ninja Day, or shall I say the Jigger Day with an N. That's what she did. So let's talk about this because this is absolutely a hot mess. Okay, so in a Facebook post on Monday, Walter Gino McLaughlin, who describes himself as an artist, activist, and organizer, shared a video revealing an image of former Atrita. I hope I'm saying this word right. Hold on just a moment, beloveds. Let me get rid of these nefarious pop ups. Okay, the Alchita Parish Junior High School secretary, Nuelen Fontana, alongside a screenshot of her alleged text. Now, the message is sent to a person referred to as Coach, referred to MLK Day, which celebrates the civil rights activist who protested racial discrimination. But it referred to him or referred to his day as Jigger Day, and also referred to Dr. King as a mark. Now, Fontana has been slammed online by parents of children at the school as well as community members. Following her departure late last week, the school, which confirmed to KTVE that the messages were indeed real, said they do not condone any form of racism. This is all so crazy. Some people are just ruthless. Nuelen Fontana is office secretary at Alchita Junior High in Monroe, Louisiana, and took time on this hashtag MLK Day to let us know how she feels about honoring Dr. King. This is what McLaughlin wrote in the post that was shared on Facebook, saying what she didn't realize is that she accidentally sent her hate-filled speech to the wrong person. I mean, talk about instant karma. All right. That's absolutely what it was. Instant karma. You see how the things that we try to do behind closed doors often come to light? Okay, just pay attention. Now I'm going to share my screen so you all can see who this nefarious Karen is and see her text messages. Likes up, everyone. Please remember to like and share. Thank you in advance, beloveds. So there she is, Nelwyn Poland Fontana. That's her name. Okay, and here's the text that she sent. Isn't that something? Says next week I've got a schedule if you would fill it out where we will know. They say yes, ma'am. And then she says Jigger Day, LOL, Mark Luther King. The person says, huh? Say what? Where'd that come from? She says, remind your plays Sunday. We're off Monday for Mark Luther King Day. This is what she said. Monday. Players, I meant. You know them kids don't listen to announcements. Have a good weekend, coach. I'm very sorry, coach. I didn't mean to send that first text to you. Please forgive me. I bet she didn't, but it's all out now. Okay. It's all out now. And Karen is probably looking for a job. So this is really something. But like I said, this is what devils do. And this is instant karma. She got exactly what she paid for at the end of the day. You see, some people don't have any sympathy or empathy or for the plight of others, and they want to make a mockery of us. But in this day and age, the age of Aquarius, many nefarious people are getting exposed. I just want y'all to pay attention. So now let's talk about this judge who gave this violent repeat offender A $1 bond. Now I'm gonna need them to make that make sense. I'm gonna share my screen so you all can see this. Likes up, everyone, please like and share.
On tonight's Breaking Bond, we are talking about a $1 bond. Believe it or not, that's the amount a district court judge set bond for a 43-year-old habitual offender accused of kidnapping, strangling, and beating a woman. Again, just $1.
It's so surprising. Fox 26's Randy Wallace joining us now live with the latest on his exclusive ongoing series. Randy.
Yeah, Rossi, 232nd Judge Josh Hill was apparently sending a message about his thoughts on a law that went into effect last year. But some wonder if Hill put a domestic abuse victim's life in danger just to prove his point.
It's in black and white. 43-year-old Aubrey Taylor is a habitual offender.
He got 8 prior felony convictions, 2 of them for robbery, which he was sent to prison.
According to court documents, the DA's office wanted Taylor jailed with no bond or a high bond because he's accused of holding the victim in his car for several days and repeatedly choking and beating her.
So he's charged with 2 serious violent offenses.
232nd Criminal District Court Judge Josh Hill made Friday the 13th a lucky day for Taylor. He gave him an unheard of bond amount.
A dollar bill. Or, since there were 2 cases, a $2 bill.
I have never seen that before. In fact, when you first told me about it, I thought you were joking.
According to court documents, Judge Hill was making his feelings known about Senate Bill 6, which eliminates PR or personal reconnaissance bonds for violent offenses.
It's kind of like a there. I wish I could give you a PR bond. I can't, so I'm going to make it $1. That's nonsensical to me.
If I'm outraged, I can't imagine what the victim in this crime must be going through, considering all she did.
Someone has accused you and you're stewing in jail, you're angry. Who's the person you're thinking about? Who are you fuming over? And then who's the first person you want to go, be angry with? It's the person who put you there, right? So I just think that that needs to be rethought.
We went to the Southeast Side apartment where Aubrey Taylor is under house arrest.
I'm doing a story about your dollar bond. Do you want to make any kind of a comment?
Right now, I have to go in and send all this stuff to the courtroom right now.
And I think that a dollar bond, while I'm a criminal defense attorney, I'm also a mother and a human, and I live here. I think that sends a wrong signal to victims, and I think it's a slap in the face to them.
If I had $1 for every time I asked Judge Josh Hill for an interview, I'd have a lot of bond money. Maybe this time he will do one. I mean, come on, Judge. Aubrey Taylor gave me a comment. Randy Wallace, Fox 26 News.
Now, that's absolutely deplorable. Okay, absolutely deplorable. First of all, this person is a repeat violent offender. Okay, there are people that get arrested for traffic violations. Okay, reckless driving, maybe a DUI. And I'm not saying that they should be excused, but what I'm saying is they clearly get lower bonds than that. I mean, much higher bonds than that. I'm sorry, much higher bonds than that. How does he get $1? And this judge doesn't want to give anyone any comments to explain himself. I just find that all so crazy. Now, usually, if it's a person, of color, a Black person, I would hope that they would have a decent bond so they could bail out, but not a person who's a whole menace to society, okay? Maybe if you have some type of misdemeanor or something that's a non-violent crime, that's a different story. But these thugs out here wreaking havoc upon the community and attacking people and doing all sorts of acts of violence, no. Why would you get $1 bond for that? This is absolutely crazy. But let me continue. Because an Army lieutenant who was pepper sprayed by Virginia police during a traffic stop was awarded only a mere $3,600. Now, you all may remember when I reported on this story. And for those of you who don't, well, I'm going to refresh your memory by showing the video. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Okay, I'm going to share my screen so you all can see this. for those of you who missed it.
We don't know exactly when Officer Joe Gutierrez was fired, but his termination happened after an internal investigation found that department policy wasn't followed. Now, the other officer involved is still employed with Windsor, Virginia police. Footage from both their body cameras and the personal cell phone of the man they pulled over show us what happened back in December. Now, we've had to watch this many times to put the story together, and it does not get any easier. Viewers should know that this video can be disturbing to watch.
6:30 p.m., December 5th, 2020. Lieutenant Karan Nazario, driving in his Army fatigues through the small town of Windsor, Virginia, saw flashing lights in his rearview mirror. He wasn't sure why he was being pulled over. According to his lawsuit, he slowed down and put his blinker on, indicating his intention to pull over, but didn't do so for another minute and 40 seconds, which he later explained was in order to find a well-lit area.
Driver, roll the window down. Put your hands out the window. Turn the vehicle off. Put your hands out the window.
Hearing these different commands while sitting in his car with his seatbelt on, Nazario began recording from his own cell phone and put his hands out the window as ordered. Turns out, Officer Daniel Crocker had not seen the temporary license plate taped to the back window of Nazario's brand new Chevrolet Tahoe. And seeing tinted windows and a driver not stopping right away, Crocker decided it was a high-risk traffic stop. But this was never explained to Nazario, who for several minutes continued to ask why he'd been pulled over.
What's going on?
How many occupants are in your vehicle?
It's only myself. Why are your weapons drawn? What's going on?
Get out of the car now!
I'm serving this country and this is how I'm treated?
Yo, what? Guess what? I'm a veteran too. I learned to obey. Get out of the car!
Body camera footage shows Officer Joe Gutierrez, gun drawn, unfastening the Velcro around what may be his taser at this time.
What's going on?
What's going on is you're fixing to ride the lightning, son.
The lawsuit says Nazario thought ride the lightning meant he could be killed.
I'm honestly afraid to get out. Can I ask you what's going on?
Get out now.
I have not committed any crimes.
You're being stopped for a traffic violation. You're not cooperating at this point right now. You're under arrest for, you're being detained, okay? You're being detained for
a
obstruction of
traffic violation. I do not have to get out the vehicle. You haven't even told me why I'm being stopped.
About 2 to 3 minutes in, Officer Crocker tried to open the driver's door. In his report, he wrote, quote, "When I attempted to unlock and open the driver's door, the driver assaulted myself by striking my hand away and pulled away from Officer Gutierrez's grip." But in his own body camera footage, Nazario is not seen striking anyone. Crocker's report also says that at this point, Gutierrez, quote, "gave several more commands to comply with orders or he would be sprayed with his OC spray." But no such warnings could be heard. Gutierrez just sprayed Nazario, still without either officer having told Nazario what exactly he was pulled over for.
That's f***ed up. That's f***ed
Get out of the car now.
I don't even want to reach for my seatbelt. Can you?
Take your seatbelt off and get out of the car. You made this way more difficult than it had to be. Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
Please talk to me
on the
about
ground
what's
now.
going on. Can you please talk to me about what's going on? Why am I being treated like this? Why?
You're not cooperating. Get on the ground. Lay down, you're going to get tased.
The officers handcuffed Nazario, then stood him back up. He told them his dog was in the back seat and was choking from the pepper spray. Medics arrived and the conversation mellowed.
What would have been a 2-minute traffic stop turned into all this?
Nazario explained why he didn't immediately pull over.
I was pulling over to a well-lit area for my safety and yours. I have respect for law enforcement.
But Gutierrez said that wasn't the problem.
The president ran what the media is spewing with the race relations between minorities and law enforcement. I get it, okay? So like I told you, as far as you not stopping and because you weren't comfortable and you wanted a well-lit spot, Lieutenant, that happens all the time. It happens to me a lot. And it's I would say 80% of the time, not always, 80% of the time, it's a minority.
And while the officers couldn't understand why Nazario didn't get out of the car as instructed,
I went to comply.
Nazario said he didn't know why he was being stopped.
I've never looked out the window and saw a gun blazing immediately.
Gutierrez eventually told Nazario that he had a conversation with the chief of police and was giving him the option to let this all go.
There's no need getting this on your record. I don't want it on your record. However, it's entirely up to you. If you want to fight it and argue. I mean, and I don't mean that disrespectfully, okay? I mean, you have that right as a citizen. If that's what you want, we'll charge you. It doesn't change my life one way or the way.
You just heard him say it doesn't change his life either way. That was Officer Joe Gutierrez, who has since been fired. CNN has not yet been able to reach him or the other officer in this case. It's not clear if they have legal representation for this lawsuit. And now Virginia State Police are investigating at the request of the Windsor Chief of Police, as well as the direction of the Virginia governor. The town of Windsor did offer this statement late last night, and I'll read part of it to you. It says it was determined that Windsor Police Department policy was not followed. This resulted in disciplinary action, and department-wide requirements for additional training were implemented beginning in January and continue up to the present. Since that time, Officer Gutierrez was also terminated from his employment. And of course, we have more questions that we are trying to get answered from the town of Windsor and their police department, Jim.
Okay, that's absolutely despicable. That is absolutely despicable that they would treat someone that way who has served this country. And then they sat there and lied and said they warned him they were going to spray him, which they did not. Okay. And then the audacity of that devil at the end to say it doesn't change his life either way. Well, clearly it did, because he was fired. But now listen to this, because he only got the officer who was attacked by these devils, and they should have been sent to jail as far as I'm concerned. They should have been charged with assault and sent to jail. But anyway, he only got $3,600. A U.S. Army officer who was pepper sprayed, pushed to the ground, and handcuffed by Windsor, Virginia police officers during a 2020 traffic stop was awarded around $3,600 Tuesday in a lawsuit that was seeking $1 million in compensatory damages. Isn't that something? I mean, what a further slap in the face. This is what they do. And then pay attention to how these devils sat there and started talking about race relations and all of this, you know, trying to make themselves seem as though this had nothing to do with race, when we know that it absolutely did. Okay, it absolutely did. Now, another thing is the way they threw him to the ground after they'd already pepper sprayed him. They didn't even give any regard to the fact that he was wearing a uniform, knowing that he served this country. No respect whatsoever. But do they give Black people respect? Most often they do not. Now, Second Lieutenant Karan Nazario, who is Black and Latino, filed the suit in 2021, claiming that the two police officers violated his rights guaranteed under the First and Fourth Amendments during the traffic stop. On Tuesday, Nazario was awarded $2,685 in compensation for damages after a jury determined former Windsor police officer Joe Gutierrez assaulted the Army officer. Well, if he assaulted him, why wasn't he arrested? Why weren't charges pressed? I have questions. Now, the jury also determined that Officer Daniel Crocker must pay $1,000 in punitive damages for an illegal search of his vehicle, according to court documents. This is all just a load of BS. They say the jury, however, largely sided with the officers, finding Nazario didn't prove other allegations in the suit, such as false imprisonment. Really? I find that very interesting. So he didn't prove much else in the suit. Did they not watch the video and see how the devil sat up there and lied? Because they clearly lied. They said that he struck one of them, which he did not. You could see that from their own body camera footage. I'll tell you the truth. Now, they say we do think that there are appealable issues in the case, and we will take it up with the appropriate forum. This is what Nazario's attorney, Jonathan Arthur, told CNN affiliate WTVR outside of the courthouse on Tuesday. Now, footage of the December 5th, 2020 traffic stop, which was captured by several cameras, including both officers' body cameras, as well as Nazario's phone, shows Nazario, who is in uniform, having guns pointed at him, being pepper sprayed 4 times, wrestled to the ground, and handcuffed. Now, I want y'all to pay attention, because the first thing they did was to pull their guns. Now, they said they thought it was a high-risk traffic stop. Really? Is that what they thought? They immediately pull their guns. They don't do this when it's Brad or Chad. That's what they don't do. I just want y'all to pay attention. Now, they say the officers ultimately released Nazario and no charges were filed against him. Crocker initiated the traffic stop after seeing a dark SUV with dark tinted windows and no license plate, according to the police reports. Nazario's lawsuit said the vehicle was new and he didn't have permanent plates yet, but that he had a cardboard temporary plates taped to the inside of the rear window. In court, lawyers for the officers argued that Nazario continued driving for 1.1 miles after Crocker initiated his lights and sirens and did not pull over at a number of potential locations. Here's the thing. He said he wanted to pull over, he said he wanted to pull over at a well-lit location. Okay, maybe there were other locations, but were they well-lit is the question. And I'm telling you, after seeing how these devils treated him in a well-lit place, well, it's very likely that they would have killed him or shot him up had he pulled over anywhere other than that. That's all I'm saying. Now, Nazario's lawsuit said that he wanted to stop in a safe place that was well lit and pulled over at a gas station in Windsor, which is about 30 miles west of Norfolk. Gutierrez was fired in 2021 following an investigation into the use of force during the incident, and Crocker remains on the force. Honey, they both should have been fired and charges pressed. They can't even make this make sense, devils. Now, an attorney for Crocker commended the judge's decision on Tuesday, saying, "Thank you for a job well done, well reasoned." They took a lot of time with this decision. They took half a day on Friday. They took the better part of the day today. This is what Richard Matthews, an attorney who represented Crocker, told WTVR. Well, I'm quite sure he thought that was all fine and dandy after he only was awarded around $3,600, okay, when he was suing for much more. I mean, they should have at least given him $100,000 as far as I'm concerned, for the disrespect, for the humiliation, for the pain and suffering, punitive damages, traumatization, you name it. Now, last year, Special Prosecutor and Commonwealth's Attorney Anton Bell determined no charges should be filed against the officers in state court, but formally referred the case to the U.S. Attorney's Office for a federal civil rights investigation. They can miss me with it. This is all the bullshit that they do. These are the things that they do at the end of the day, and they get away with it, and they'll continue to. But meanwhile, some people want to sit up here and act like it's the immigrants that are the problem, the black immigrants. Please miss me with it. This is the problem. This whole system of wanton supremacy that allows and enables police to mistreat black people, okay, and do them any kind of way that they want. This is what it is. Now, mind you, this man is black and Latino. So my point is this: whether you're a black person from the United States or a black person from some other region of this world, at the end of the day, don't we all get oppressed and treated the same and called the N-word? Doesn't that affect all of us? Now, I know, and I've said numerous of times, some of the black immigrants absolutely don't like us. They have colonized minds. But some of our own African-American people also don't like us and work against us, all right, and throw us under the bus and demean us and spew the talking points, the racist rhetoric of the wanton supremacists too. So let's not paint narratives, but let's call them all out when they do these things, because there's bad on both sides, as far as I'm concerned. But with that all being said, everyone please like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, or the channels if you haven't done so already. Be sure that you like and share these videos. Y'all know they have me shadow banned, okay, because I put in real work with real stories, and I go in on the real problem, okay, and the real oppressors, all right? I don't paint narratives and spew nefarious agendas that sow seeds of division and that will eventually get us nowhere. Okay, that's what I don't do. So with that all being said, I wish you all love, peace, and light. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, and never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Also, make sure that you double check to make sure you're still subscribed to the channels, because you know people mysteriously become unsubscribed. I will talk to you all again soon.
With that flavor all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking rap reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got